There's lots of big news coming in regarding to the latest on Roman Reigns, so we'll see what's new there. We'll also check out what's going on with Bayley, Cody Rhodes, and much more. Starting things off with Roman Reigns. The January 5th edition of SmackDown ended with what Roman thought was a genius move on his end. Absolutely destroy everyone in the triple threat #1 contenders match, so he'll be left with no top contenders for the Royal Rumble. But as we know, Nick Aldis acted almost immediately and informed Paul Heyman that, because of those actions by the Bloodline, Roman Reigns will have to defend his title in a fatal 4-way match at the Royal Rumble. We got to see Paul Heyman's reaction to the big announcement, but due to SmackDown going off air seconds later, we never got to see Roman's reaction to the piece of important intel. But WWE did share a digital exclusive clip from right after SmackDown where Roman Reigns first learned about the fatal 4-way match. Roman was feeling great. He talked about how Heyman was right about what he said earlier in the night, how there truly is no one that can defeat him. But that's when Paul Heyman delivered the big news about the fatal 4-way to Roman Reigns. As everyone could expect, Roman Reigns was extremely furious about hearing the news. His only response was telling Paul Heyman to fix this situation. So it looks like the narrative over the next few weeks will be Paul Heyman trying his absolute best to try and talk Nick Aldis out of this decision to have a fatal 4-way at the Royal Rumble for the Universal title. Will Paul Heyman be successful with that goal and mission? Probably not, but it'll still be interesting to see what Paul Heyman decides to do in order to at least try and get that decision reversed. And if Paul Heyman fails to meet Roman's request, how will Roman react? Will Roman become upset with Paul Heyman for failing to do what he asked? Or will Roman aim all that anger and hatred strictly towards Nick Aldis? They definitely seem to be building Nick Aldis up as this complete opposite of how Adam Pearce was with Roman and the Bloodline. Roman and Heyman basically had Adam Pearce wrapped around their finger and were able to constantly manipulate themselves out of sticky situations because they had Adam Pearce controlled. But with Nick Aldis, they're establishing pretty early on that he's not going to bend nor fold to Roman and Heyman. We'll see how long he can keep that going for and if it'll eventually break. But for the time being, Nick Aldis is firmly standing his ground against them. And he'll continue to prove that point by not reverting his decision on the fatal 4-way match. So Nick and Roman will be off to quite the horrible start to their working relationship with each other. Meanwhile, on the backstage side of things, it's being reported that Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton in a singles match was the original plan for the Universal title match at Royal Rumble. But the rumor is once they really started to think things over, they realized that Randy Orton picking up this massive loss against Roman Reigns still this early into his return would be devastating for Randy's momentum and story. So that's why they allegedly had to pull back on that match and direction. And that's actually a pretty fair point and reason to cancel the match. Everyone knows that Randy Orton wouldn't really dethrone Roman Reigns at Royal Rumble. So that singles match would have ended in a similar fashion to all of Roman's recent title defenses. Randy would be closing in on the win. Out comes interference from the Bloodline. Roman capitalizes for the pinfall victory. That's exactly how the singles match would have gone between Roman and Randy, and it would take away some momentum from Randy for sure. The report also goes on to claim that they really couldn't do Roman Reigns versus LA Knight again because they just did that match at Crown Jewel. They could have done Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles, but it looks like that wasn't big enough of a match for them. But the idea to combine everything into one and have a fatal 4-way match is actually a pretty exciting idea. It's a match that's extremely fresh in this newly 4-year-long title reign for Roman Reigns. Not once in this current reign has he ever put the title on the line in a fatal 4-way match. So for the first time during this reign, Roman is basically on unfamiliar grounds. When it comes to Roman's singles matches, he knows the exact formula for how to escape with victories. But with a fatal 4-way, it's not something that he frequently deals with. So he's got to work extra hard to come up with a plan for this match. And the Fatal 4-Way basically confirms that we'll see a little new remix to the finish that we're used to seeing from Roman Reigns' matches. The Bloodline no longer has to interfere or cheat with one opponent. They now have to help Roman Reigns out with 3 separate opponents all at the same time. So is that something they can handle with ease and still get the same result of Roman Reigns winning? Or could the number of opponents just be too much for the Bloodline to handle? All this and all things that probably already ran through Roman's head. That's why he knows he has to try and get rid of this Fatal 4-Way match before it's too late. It's not the old days of the Bloodline where Roman had himself, the Usos, Solo Sikoa, and Sami Zayn. Maybe if he had that squad, he could handle a Fatal 4-Way. But now it's basically just Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso. So Roman just has to play his cards much smarter now compared to the peak of the Bloodline. So considering it sounds like they may want to hold on to the Roman and Randy singles match for the future, it doesn't seem like Randy will be the one getting pinned here in the Fatal 4-Way match. And since LA Knight just got pinned in November, can't really have him taking 2 straight pins to Roman Reigns. So taking all this into consideration, it looks like AJ Styles is the prime suspect to get pinned here by Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble. So we'll see how that story unfolds heading into Royal Rumble, but everyone expects Roman Reigns to walk out of the Fatal 4-Way still as Universal Champion. Cody Rhodes made headlines this week for a very unusual and unique interaction he had with a fan during a recent WWE live event. Cody had noticed a type of sign in the crowd that he never quite saw before, and it was a sign from a fan requesting for Cody to be the best man at their wedding. Cody grabbed the mic and went back and forth with his fan, talking about the details of the wedding. Cody said that if they could have the wedding on a weekday instead of the weekend, that he will attend the wedding and accept the invite. Cody later went on to reveal that he doesn't even know the fan's name, but that they'll apparently reach out to him on Instagram with more details. So if the wedding fits Cody's schedule, a lot of fans expect Cody to keep his word and show up to the wedding later this year. Bayley also took to her Twitter to make a big promise herself. Bayley said that in 2024, the San Francisco 49ers and herself will both win championship gold. Well, with the Super Bowl being right around the corner, we'll see if Bayley's prediction about the 49ers turns out to be true. But what is also interesting to see is if Bayley does get her hands on a piece of WWE gold again in 2024. Bayley hasn't held a singles title, or any title at that point, since the Thunderdome era of WWE nearly 4 years ago. And the last time she actively held a title in front of live fans was prior to WWE's pandemic era. So it's been quite a long time that Bayley has gone without gold. Ever since returning in 2022 with the arrival of Damage Control, Bayley has been eyeing championship gold, but has been unsuccessful in trying to capture it ever since. But strangely enough, Io and Dakota captured the tag team title gold multiple times, and Io even captured the WWE women's title all before Bayley got her hands back on any gold. And now we've been hearing Bayley speak more and more about her goals to bring a world title to Damage Control. Bayley has been mentioning the idea of dethroning Rhea Ripley, but as the events of 2024 unfold, it'll be interesting to see if Bayley could potentially get her 2024 championship from Io Sky herself. So a lot of interesting potential directions could be coming for Bayley and her goal to capture a title in 2024. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.